Yes. Yes. Man, the playoffs are around the corner, man. The play-ins start tonight. I'm feeling that NBA spirit right now.
Yes.
And so far, I guess you could say Rudy Gobert is, or is he feeling the MMA boxing spirit? Let's talk about it right now. Did the Timberwolves make the right choice suspending Rudy Gobert for tonight's playing game? Say once again. The mic is
Absolutely.
yours.
He definitely was absurd the way he acted on the court, punching Kyle Anderson in the chest mid game. It was a lot of reports of what was said. Woj came out and Fed said it was because Kyle Anderson cursed him out on the sidelines, and Rudy Gobert punched him in his chest. It's clear that the locker room is not in favor of Rudy Gobert. They don't like the way he speaks to people, as Kyle Anderson admitted, and there was also leaked audio of Kyle Anderson talking about the Timberwolves have a decision to make this summer. You let him get away with too much. You allow him to speak the way he wants to speak to everybody. Kyle Anderson is an ultimate professional. He hasn't had these outbreaks in the locker room, or at least on record, on any team he's been on. He's a guy who's been on multiple organizations, and there's something that shouldn't be had in the locker room, which is Rudy Gobert. I've said it before the season. I'm gonna say it now again. The Timberwolves did not need to make that trade for Rudy Gobert. It was not a trade that was a necessity for that roster. I understand that they use the defensive metrics and his ability to change the trajectory of shots in the paint as a reason why they traded all those assets for him. I just think it was way too much. I just think a package like that you give away for Dame. A package like that you give away for a guy, a star, a guy who knows how to carry a team, not Rudy Gobert. You could have traded less to the Pacers for Miles Turner. You could have went after another rim protector. There's a bevy of rim protectors in the game that you could have went after, and you decided to give up the farm for Rudy Gobert. I just He's not a locker room guy. There was issues and turmoil in Utah with Rudy Gobert. It wasn't just everyone loved Rudy Gobert. There's issues and turmoil now in Minnesota. He is the common denominator. I know a lot of people thought Donovan Mitchell was the issue in Utah. They painted him out to be this bad guy, and he moved to Cavaliers. Everyone loves him in Cleveland, and now Minnesota seeing they made the wrong decision. It's unfortunate, but he definitely deserved a game suspension. Shoot, he deserved 2 game suspension. He shouldn't play in any playing games if it was up to the Minnesota, because he's an issue on this roster. And the Timberwolves anyway play best when Karl Anthony Towns is at the center position. Point blank period. He has the mismatch. He takes the center out the paint. He does so much of the offense when he's playing the 5. The team plays better when Rudy Gobert is not on the floor. And for me, I think Rudy Gobert needs to be suspended for the rest of the season. And Minnesota Timberwolves need to find a way to get rid of this contract. I don't know how they're going to. It's going to be something that will be interesting to say the least, but it's going to be very difficult to remove Rudy Gobert from this roster based upon his contract.
I mean, look, I respectfully disagree with the way how you answered the question. Not so much the dialogue after that. I think you're right that they are going to regret, or they already regret, the transaction for Rudy Gobert. I'm up there with you. But as far as suspending him for a pivotal playing game, no, I think they lost their minds in a way. And it's funny to me because I'm not exempting Rudy Gobert's behavior. I'm gonna touch on that in a few minutes. But as far as tonight, they're already undermanned. I believe they are without Nas Reed, Jalen McDaniels, and so they're going to be undermanned, which is going to be a very hefty load on Cat's behalf to kind of, overcome that, right? And when you talk about Rudy Gobert, and yes, we all know they don't play well with him and Cat on the floor together. I believe it was like 13 and 13, I believe 500 with both of them on the floor. At least in the last game against the Lakers, Rudy Gobert's rim protection forced Anthony Davis to become a jump shooter, right? And even if he makes those jump shots, I'd rather him take jump shots than getting a lot of looks at the rim. Now that you suspended him, right? You're forcing Cat really to be the X factor of this game, because he's going to have to be the one to step up. We know he can step up offensively. We know Cat on a good day, on a day where Cat is cooking, he could give you 20 and 15, right? But from a defensive standpoint, is he going to be disciplined enough defending the rim with LeBron James and Anthony Davis attacking the rim? Is he going to get in foul trouble? Is he going to get taken out of the game early, right? Because if I'm the Lakers, I'm attacking him on that side where I want to get him in foul trouble to make him not the X factor no more, but not a factor at all. So the Lakers could do that now that Rudy Gobert is not there. At least with Rudy Gobert, I understand his limitations and his deficiencies, and sometimes how he could be a no-show offensively, just not even there. But rim protection is key with him, and the Lakers don't have to worry about that. Number two, when you look at the comparison of the Jordan Poole and Draymond Green incident from the offseason, you can argue, I understand that it happened at practice behind closed doors, but that tape got out. So it's not like I heard that argument, being thrown on social media in the comments somewhere. Oh, well, that was, behind closed doors. Yeah, it was until it wasn't. Until I saw it. Until my grandma saw it. Until everybody saw it. Okay, but guess what? The Warriors didn't suspend Draymond Green, and Draymond Green has a history of infractions on the Warriors that cost them a series against the Cavaliers and other series and other behaviors where he got technicals and he was suspended in big games. He's always been crossing the line, right? You could say Rudy Gobert and him is different. The teammates like Draymond. The teammates don't like Rudy. I don't care about what the teammates like and who they don't like. Draymond Green has always been on the line, and crossing the line at times. And yet they didn't suspend him. And this was in the offseason. They could have suspended him for the opening day, right? So you mean to tell me you're going to suspend a guy who you traded all the masses for, who could give you rim protection? You're undermanned, and you're going to suspend him in a must-win game? Like, no, I could understand if it was even the playoffs, 7-game series. Maybe game 1, maybe game 2, because I got other games to win. Maybe game 3, depending on how the series is shaped. But in a play-in, win and get in? Nah, I think that not only are you trying to make a point to Rudy Gobert, but you may be sabotaging your season in the process of doing that. So I understand the professionalism. Listen, I'm very big on professionalism, right? When I leave my crib, right, I almost spit out my address. I almost was a fool, right? I ain't gonna do that, right? I ain't gonna do that. When I leave my crib, right, I act professional, right? Because I'm representing my house. When I'm in my house, I act the way how I want to act. But when I'm out, I'm professional, right? Sportsmanship and teamship is very important, right? I don't like that LSU girl when she was showing a lack of sportsmanship and playing victim, and everybody playing victim because of her mistake. Now, I don't do that, right? I don't do the punching teammates, right? We disagree. We don't always agree. I work with people all the time. We don't always agree. But at the end of the day, we have a job to do, whatever that job is. Just like how on this show, our job is to get the best content out possible, right? But at the same time, to translate back to what I'm talking about, because I lost my train of thought for a second, right? Yes, I understand why you would want to suspend Rudy Gobert to make a point about professionalism and your franchise. But at the same time, when you realize that, hey, you could have beat the Lakers, and you potentially might not beat them. You could beat them, but you might not. Then we're going to reflect back and say, what if Rudy Gobert played in this game? Would that have made the difference? What if the Lakers win and let's say they got an extra rebound, a put back on the boards to win the game like that? Right? Just a little thing like that where Rudy Gobert would have got that rebound, they would have won. If it ends like that, obviously the game got to be played to get into that scenario. So, yeah, I answered that question like that. No, they didn't make the good choice. I think you're on mute, Zay. Still on mute.
There we go. You hear me now?
Yep.
So all those points are very valid points. I think that was a great segue to what I'm about to say, because I think the decision had to be made based upon what your team, how the team feels, the team morale. If the team don't want to play with Rudy Gobert, then that was a decision that was made amongst the team. Because if the team was in favor of, come on, we need Rudy, X, Y, and Z, then he would have never got suspended because the GM and the owner wouldn't make these decisions if there was the locker room presence that Rudy Gobert was the team guy. He was the guy that getting everyone together and so on and so forth. After Rudy punched him, he said that Michael Conley called him and he spoke about it. He went on social media to apologize, and then he still got suspended afterwards. I don't think the locker room is in favor of Rudy Gobert. I don't think they like him. I think that's what really came down to. Do you like this guy? Yes or no? It reminds me of the New Edition movie. It was like, yo, we about to kick Bobby out. Do you like him? Yes or no? Everyone's like, no, he made a mistake. We want to bring him back. That's just how it is. That's something that needs to be spoken about. That Rudy Gobert is not a locker room guy. He's not a guy who's your rim protector. It shouldn't be the most vocal guy. Like he's supposed to leader in the locker room. I think he believes in his heart that he is the leader in that locker room. He could talk to anybody any given way at any given time. And I think that's why him and Donovan Mitchell clashed, because he believed he was the leader in the locker room. He was the man amongst boys. And that's something that doesn't need to be addressed. I think there's a bunch of men in that locker room, and they don't like being talked down to, especially from a dude that got no talent on offense. So it's something that needs to be that I guess from that point, Rudy, you gotta set out a game. You can't be in the locker room that game one. And you may see a Timberwolves team that's revitalized. You may see a Timberwolves team that may play a lot better without Rudy Gobert on that floor or even in that locker room, because it's a more different dynamic. It's not a criticized dynamic where everyone's being scrutinized and why you not passing me the ball, this, that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's a different dynamic. The Timberwolves, before Rudy Gobert got there, was an established young team trying to just be gritty and make it. And when they got Rudy Gobert, they tried to establish themselves as one of the best defensive teams in the league, and it just never came into fruition. It never became that point. And that was supposed to be Rudy Gobert's niche, his defense. But he did not, and his impact on defense did not put that on the Timberwolves. They're not one of the better defensive teams in the league, to be honest. And I don't think they're in the top 15 in the league in defense. So the fact that his impact is not even in that point, making him a middle of the pack defense, that's an issue. And that's only prohibiting them from being the team that they could be, which is a spaced out West Coast offense, score the basketball up and down, fast paced. And that's something that we see Anthony Edwards doing. That's something that we see Karl-Anthony Towns doing. And I think with them two right now playing against the Lakers, you'll see a team that is more offensively sound without Rudy Gobert in that lineup.
And I agree from the offensive standpoint. Now, I do think when you trade all them assets for Rudy Gobert, like, I just don't think suspending him in a playing situation makes sense to me, especially when that could have got handled by a simple fine from the team. You could have fined him and him in the pockets. I mean, yeah, you're giving him rest, technically. Literally giving him rest. So it's suspended without pay, or is it suspended with pay?
Without, I believe.
Without pay? You miss a. I mean, listen, the man's making super max money.
Yep.
Man's been stealing money. Okay, so at the end of the day, I mean, it don't really hurt him like that. So you're actually doing him a favor by resting him, especially if y'all win and he's able to come back and join y'all. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, I don't want this to get misconstrued, right? Because he's an idiot. What he did is an idiot move. Mm-hmm. Punching a teammate, that's something that you're not supposed to do. I don't respect that. Like I said about the professionalism, right? And not only are you jeopardizing, the Timberwolves season, but you are jeopardizing, teammateship, right? Teammateship, which is very important. The brotherhood of a team. I want to play with you. I want to play for you. I got your back. You got mine. Those are the things that you're jeopardizing when you put some hands on somebody. And I don't care about the verbal words, man. Listen, I'm from New York. Mm-hmm. Words are filthy. People's mouths are filthy here. You ever got cursed out by a Jamaican? Forget about it. Okay, forget about it. All right, they the worst. Okay, but I go toe to toe with them when they come out their mouth. But I ain't gonna put my hands on them unless they put their hands on me. So I don't care if who was it? I think Anderson may have said something. I don't care if Anderson said your mama is a you know what. We'll take that somewhere else. We'll fight in a daggone locker room, right? But not in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. But anyway, my last point here, and then I'm officially done. As far as Rudy Gobert and his future with the team, because clearly it was a bad investment from the start. Mm-hmm. We talked about it briefly last week when we talked about our biggest, not our biggest, but the biggest regrets
Mhm.
of the NBA season. This has a case to be right up there, if not number one, number two, right? And I agree. You briefly mentioned it in your take just now. You don't believe that the Timberwolves could get off of that Rudy Gobert contract, and I agree. The contract is so bad,
Mhm.
and you may have to end up trading Cat to kind of get more capital back that you gave up for Rudy.
Mhm.
It's one of those scenarios where the only way you can get out of that, because you can't, is to trade Cat to get some of that cap back. And that's just the bond that they put themselves in.
Mhm.
And also, it's like if there's one package that you could do, right? And it's a meaningless trade. It's a meaningless trade. It's possibly a Rudy Gobert Ben Simmons swap.
Mm.
That's the only trade that I can literally give you, that Rudy Gobert and how the Timberwolves could get off of that contract and how the Nets could get off of Ben Simmons. It's literally doing a meaningless swap of those two guys. And I'm going to leave that there.
Yeah, we can leave it there because I don't even know.
Literally, meaningless trade. We get them here and there. This will be another one, another prime example.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.